Hello everyone, Tutu Mora here with the Y, bringing you new tools to feel well in your body, mind, and spirit. So we all want those strong core muscles to keep us stable and upright, right? So today we're gonna work on strengthening those muscles with a new routine. You won't need any props. You'll just need a mat or a soft surface to lay down on, and I'll go ahead and meet you down on the mat. Okay, so just laying down, feet planted on the mat, knees bent, about hip distance apart here. And just taking a deep breath all the way down into the low belly, almost as if you could breathe into the back of your body, puffing out that lower back so it could nestle a little bit deeper into the mat. And now taking that breath between the shoulder blades, so towards the chest, right in the back of the heart. Again, almost like you were going to breathe into the back of the body, puffing out that space between your shoulder blades with your breath, as if that upper body could, again, just nestle in a little bit deeper into the mat. And so what we're going to do, letting this area, our torso, be stable, we're going to bring one leg into a shelf. And so as you do this, right away just noticing what in your pelvis needs to shift in order to accommodate this. And can you keep that pelvis stable as you bring that leg into shelf? So it can help to place your hands on your hip bones just to feel for a little bit of wobble, if there is one, as you bring that leg into a shelf. And so while you're here, let's bring that opposite arm up, fingertips towards the ceiling. So as you're here, feeling into your two hip sockets, your two shoulder joints, and letting those four corners almost be like four quadrants of a box. And we want all four of those quadrants to stay nice and heavy into the mat. And so what we're going to do is we're going to bring that heel down towards the mat. Again, letting that hip socket stay heavy, legs suctioning into the back of the hip socket, and then dragging it back up into a shelf. On that opposite arm, we're going to be sending that arm out into a T, and then dragging it back up, staying nice and heavy, arm plugged into the shoulder socket. And so we're going to take those two together. So if you needed to rest back down while I was talking, feel free to bring those opposite limbs up. So leg into shelf, arm up towards the ceiling, and we're going to take those two together. So as you take that heel down towards the mat, arm coming out into a T, can you let the arm and the leg be suctioned deep into the shoulder, into the hip socket, dragging them back up? Now, if you feel like you're getting caught a little bit in your hip flexor, you can give your leg a little external rotation and continue here. Only bringing your leg and arm out as far as you can. Keep all four corners stable, keeping that back from arching and dragging it back in. So feeling into what that range might be for you today in this moment. And dragging that back in. And resting back down. Now alternatively, I'll just give you a little modification before we move over to the other side. If you just wanted to start by taking that arm out into a T, feeling how that changes what's happening in your pelvis or through the other shoulder and dragging it back in, you can always take one arm or one leg separately as you drag that back in. So you can also just take that leg separately as you take that heel down towards the mat dragging it back up. Sometimes taking it separately allows you to notice those subtle shifts, allowing you to re-stabilize. And by stabilizing, we're letting our breath help us stabilize. So we don't want to clench up. We want to keep this dynamic. So breathing deeply in through the torso as you create the movement elsewhere. So let's take this to the other side, and then I'll give you another modification to make it a little bit harder this time. So I'm going to take one leg, one arm separately. You're welcome to do one leg separately, one arm separately, or however you'd like to feel into what's right for you today. So let's take that heel down towards the mat, opposite arm coming out into a T, breathing, letting that breath help you stay stable. And we'll take 3 more here, just taking it at your own pace, only going as fast or as slow as you can keep both shoulders heavy, both hips heavy, that you can keep that back from arching. So I'm taking it nice and slow so I can feel into all of those little shifts. And then we're going to take 2 more after this. Last one. And resting back down. So you have 2 ways to do this so far. You can do the legs separately, the arms separately, or you can take one leg and the opposite arm together. If you'd like to make this a little bit more challenging, let's see what that looks like. We're going to, one at a time, bring both legs into a shelf. Again, feeling into that pelvis, making sure both sides of that pelvis stay stable, weighted into the mat. And then we're going to bring both arms up, fingertips towards the ceiling. Keeping all 4 of those joints heavy, we're going to take one leg down, opposite arm coming out into a T, and then taking it back up. Again, notice that I'm not bringing my heel all the way down to the mat because I'm feeling for where my back wants to arch, where my shoulders might want to pick up and help me out. So we're only taking that range as far as we can maintain stability. And so let's take 2 more sets on each side here. Remembering to breathe. Last one on each side. And then slowly resting back down onto the mat. And so just to stretch out what we just did, we're going to take a little pelvic curl. So letting your pelvis just gently curl up as your tailbone lengthens, curls. And then we're going to set all of that back down. Taking that again, just a little pelvic curl. Setting it back down, and then we'll take that one more time. Taking that pelvic curl. And then letting it, once again, those leg bones just rest heavy, sink into the hip sockets as you uncurl. Nice, and now for the arms, just to stretch out what we just did, fingertips towards the ceiling. We're just going to slide one arm overhead, other arm coming down towards the thigh, giving a gentle reach in both directions before heavy through those shoulder sockets, we switch. And now as you're here, letting that little reach come from the back of the armpit as you reach in both directions, heavy through the shoulders, and we'll take one more set. and then resting back down. So I hope that this helped you get an idea of maybe how stable your abdominals are, and a few modifications and ways to build up that strength and stability at your own pace. So I'll see you back here next time on the Wise YouTube channel with more tools to help you feel well in your body, mind, and spirit. Take care.